hostess with the most, Annabelle, as always. Welcome back, welcome back. So it has got to be Friday, so the end of the week, we are doing our documentary of the week. So I'm sure probably a lot of you guys have already seen this, documentary. Or I should say a lot of you gamers have already seen this, documentary. I know I watched it like quite a number of years ago on Netflix. This is another library movie, and this is King of Kong: A Fistful of Quarters. This is about Steve Wiebe, who is trying to like get a high score and everything in Donkey Kong. And this was the first movie that I was made aware of Mr. Billy Mitchell, who, for those of you who may not know, recently just had almost all of his high scores completely disqualified because he's a fucking shady ass cheating motherfucker. Sorry for the little like explosive explosion there, but yeah, even back then when I first saw this movie, and I'm not the biggest gamer, even back then when I first saw this about 10 years ago, I was like, that guy is one of the most shady ass MFers I have ever seen. I'm just saying. So I'm glad that he no longer has a ton of high scores. Just saying. And by the way, and if you guys watched my non-horror movie this week of Spork, the reason why I was in the comedy section and found that movie is because of this movie. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, it's a documentary and they have it under comedy. My library, I love them. We have one of the best libraries in the country. They're out there, man. I'm just saying, I think they're smoking some ganja or something, cause yeah. Anyway, this is not about that. But no, this is, like I said, it's kind of like the journey with this young man, Steve Wiebe, who's really just, kind of wants to try and get this high score, just get like a basic high score, maybe get a little higher than Billy Mitchell, just has a little like goal, little dream and stuff that, and this, Donkey Kong score that Billy Mitchell has had, he's had it for like quite a number of years. And, Steve is just kind of like, I just want to try it. Maybe, see if I can get, like, a new high score, get someone in that, first place or whatnot. But the entire time, like, every time he breaks, like, a score, one of Billy Mitchell's scores, here comes Billy Mitchell with a videotape. Oh, wait, no, hang on. No, I got a recording showing that I've got another, high score. And here's the thing. He makes this comment, exact quote, if not almost this exact quote of like, oh yeah, I always got a little something in my back pocket just in case. Like, yeah, like you guys, if you guys don't even know who like Billy Mitchell is or anything, definitely watch this or the, I think it's called Chasing the Snake or something, or Man vs. Snake. Because I know he's in that one too. That's another documentary that's similar to this, of a gentleman trying to get a high score on that Snake game from like the 80s and stuff. He, like, Billy Mitchell, like I said, like, just one of the like sneakiest, shadiest freaking people in the world. And even back then, like, this was years and years before, people definitely were like more trying to like get into like seeing how legit his scores were and everything, Billy Mitchell's scores. I think people at the time were kind of trying to like dispute his scores, but it's like at least with me, and I think people have said this since his like kind of removal of a lot of his high scores, that it just seems like Billy Mitchell just is in bed with Twin Galaxies, who kind of oversee like all the high scores and everything, kind of like regulate like different high scores and verify high scores and stuff in video games. And it just like, it's so true. Like, even back then, like I said, I just feel like Billy Mitchell was literally like banging everyone at Twin Galaxies, because like he would do that. Like, and he's just, oh. And here's the thing. So you have Steve Wiebe, who is like basically, like you and me, average Joe Schmoes, has a family. Okay, I don't have like a family, like a husband and kids and stuff, but I got a family. I got a job. I got a job in retail. You guys know this. I gotta make a living. So he would always try and like, save up some money, save up some vacation time to be able to go to like, to different like gaming events and everything, to try and sit down, get his high score, have like actual physical people there seeing him do this and everything on a legit machine and everything. And like he would break a score. Like one of the scores he broke, I believe, was actually at one of these sort of like at like Fun World or something. And then what do you know? Here comes this little old lady with a tape from Billy Mitchell, because Billy Mitchell's trying to like convey her to be her friend and like, support her in her Cubert, like, high score and everything. Yeah, you're using a little old granny, dude. You're a piece of shit. Just saying. I'm not mad at the little old lady, the little old granny, but Billy Mitchell, you're using a granny like that. You deserve a fistful of quarters up your ass. Just saying. Sorry, I'm like really getting salty with this. I was not planning on being so salty in this review. But it's like, oh, suddenly this lady comes over. She's like, oh wait, hang on, there's this tape, and Billy gave it to me, and it's a higher score than this. And like Billy Mitchell, for all that he does, he's always like, oh yeah, you got to do it in person, blah blah blah. This entire time, all he does is like give out tapes of like records that he's broken and high scores that he has not released yet. And it's like, actually, like, the final tape that he brought in, and I know this was even under question, or, like, like, the first 1,000,000-point game or something, and then it rotates back to, like, all zeros. Well, in that, like, on the VHS, like, there's a little bit of, like, tracking, like, literally a little bit of tracking just over the score part, and it's like, that's a little fishy. It could genuinely be some wear and tear in that video. But that's a little shitty that it happens right at the $1,000,000 score and everything, and then he ends up getting like the kill screen, and it's like just things like that like I said back then, like if you had watched this before Billy Mitchell's like disqualification and stuff, like you just sit there thinking like, God, it's so obvious. There's something really shady. Like, investigate this. Like, you guys have no problem, dismissing, Joe Schmo over here who's, like, leaving his family for, like, a week every other week to go try and, like, beat this high score. Yet Billy Mitchell can just, like, run his little fucking crappy-ass restaurant and, like, send in freaking videotapes. Yeah. And I know one of the first scores that Steve Wiebe did do was kind of thrown out because it was done on his own machine, and Twin Galaxies or someone came out, looked at the boards, and were like, oh well, hang on, no, this is not the original board. This is altered a little bit. So he was disqualified, and he had no idea. He was just like, why, the first board broke, so I thought I was getting a legit like second board from another like original cabinet to just replace mine, and I could keep the cabinet. They're like, no, not the same one. It's been altered. Can't use it. It's a different board. It's altered, so it's not original. Meanwhile, it's like, how do you know if Billy Mitchell isn't doing the same thing on whatever cabinet he's doing? And just for you guys know, I believe that that's a big source of why Billy Mitchell's scores have been discredited, because it's been found out, or at least one of the things has been found out, that some of his boards on some of his high scores were altered, were like a few seconds faster, were tweaked a little bit so screens go a little bit faster, like a second faster, which does not seem like a big deal. But apparently it makes all the difference in the world. So, just so you guys know, I know there's more to it than that, but I'm not going to get into that. You guys can go and watch any one of, like, the 50,000 videos out there about Billy Mitchell and his disqualification and discreditation of high scores. Just saying. Plus, too, I'm not, like, that knowledgeable of it. But yeah, no, this is a really good one. Like I said, definitely check this one out. Really, really good. I believe it is on YouTube. I think this is another, like, YouTube one that you can watch. I know it's no longer on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's not on Amazon Prime. But no, it's definitely a good one. Especially, like, even if you're not, like, huge into video games. Like I said, I'm not huge into video games. But, this is probably like the good fourth or fifth time that I've watched this documentary in the last 10 years, and it's good. I still really enjoy it. So let me know what your thoughts on this movie is. What do you like? What are some of your thoughts on Billy Mitchell himself and everything and that whole scandal? Let me know in the comments. Till next time, guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.